see nobody but me who I'm gonna lose to. I can't move around without tools. These loose screws. I can see me taking a lead over the new school. I get emotional listening to that song too. Maybe I'm just an emotional person. We go through personal stuff and we like sometimes take it out on the people around us. And sometimes we just don't understand why. And I just relate on a whole another level to that song. What's up? This is Tokyo Jetz and you're watching Top 5 DOA. For me, it was definitely hard to pick my top 5 just because I'm like a huge fan of hip hop. Like from before I was born to the 90s to like even till now. And I still listen to old music now, and I think sometimes like when people do their top 5, we just so stuck on using like the older artists and people who are, you know, already legends that we kind of forget about the people who are becoming legends in our generation now. So I wanted to make sure that I include some of those people too and not just go to my go-tos. So it was definitely hard for me to pick my top 5. For my 5th spot, I had to put the baddest. I put Trina. It's a ton of other female artists that, you know, have been out. But like me growing up in the South, like we had like parties all the time. Well, older people in my family had parties all the time. And Trina was like the go-to. So before I was old enough to know a Trina song, before I needed to be singing a Trina song, I knew a Trina song. The Baddest is my favorite Trina song. I'm representing for the all eyes on you riches, no time for the lips. I feel like Trina is one of the first women to like own her sexuality. Like Trina was always around a bunch of men and she was like proud of who she was, and she was like telling women, okay, don't accept this and don't accept that, make them give you this, like don't just give yourself away. I just feel like she was one of the first women to own her sexuality, and so many girls now are doing that, and it comes from Trina. It started with Trina. So for my number 4 spot, it's gonna be Tupac. And before y'all jump down my neck, let me explain. I just feel like we include like the solidified greats so much in our like top 5 list, which is, you know, a given, and we just don't give other artists a chance sometimes. But I love Tupac. He's always going to be included in my top 5. I feel like Tupac was kind of like a tip before there was a tip, if that makes sense. But outside of the work that he did outside of music, like I just love Brenda's Got a Baby. I love Hail Mary. And outside of like the good music, I know it's crazy because I'm a girl, I love like the gangster songs. Hit 'Em Up is probably my favorite Tupac song. And I ain't got no beef with nobody, but that song made me feel like if I do, I'm gonna beat you up. I know like back in the day, people were super critical about like the lyrics, and people were super critical about your metaphors and your punchlines. And I just think right now that for me, music is just about the feeling that it gives you. I can listen to you rap a million bars and they can all be hard, but like, am I going to walk away with like a feeling? Am I going to remember any of these bars you said? I feel like it's about a feeling. If you can make me feel happy, you can make me reminisce, you can make me cry, that's what it's about. For my number 3 spot, I have to give it to my girl Lauryn Hill. And I simply say Lauryn Hill because, again, this is the music that I grew up on. My mama, my daddy, my aunties, all these people blast the music when it's time for you to get up and clean up on Sunday morning. But outside of like those memories of when I was younger, I just feel like Lauryn Hill has a song topic for every situation you can be going through in life. Like I remember when I first found out I was pregnant for my son, I listened to Zion like a million times. Unsure what the balance tells, I touch my belly overwhelmed. I just feel like I related so much simply because she was speaking on like being an artist and being pregnant, and then like everybody having these opinions about how you should handle the situation. And I just related on a level that I've never related before. And then outside of Zion, Doo Wop is my song. Don't think you're a rock when you really are a gym, baby girl. Respect is a minimum. For my number 2 spot, we gotta go with Lil Baby. Lil Baby, like right now, he is running it crazy. Like Lil Baby is everywhere, on everybody's song, on everybody's feature, on everybody's video. He's just moving in a way like every artist, you know, dreams to move of. And like I was saying, we have so many solidified greats already, and I just feel like right now Lil Baby is one of the people that's heading into the direction to become one of those people that younger rappers and younger artists look to, and they just name him as being in their top 5 simply because he's just having an amazing run right now. And I don't think you could go nowhere and not hear a Lil Baby song. I think my favorite Lil Baby song is probably Emotionally Scarred right now. Out of my top 5, the person that I would say gets me hyped would have to be Lil Baby. Like I said, it's nowhere you can go right now and not hear a Lil Baby song. If you get ready to go to the club or in the club or leaving the club, you go hear Lil Baby. That's the go-to. That's the go right now. So for my number 1 spot, I of course gotta give it to my girl Nicki Minaj. At some point, like when we was coming up, it was no other female artist out, and Nicki was just everywhere. And I remember like being on the school bus and I heard Itty Bitty Piggy for the first time, and I was like, who is this? Because there was no female artist out at the time. It's nobody else that's been out that long and still like has been current and still can drop music now and still be current. So my favorite Nicki Minaj song is Itty Bitty Piggy first, just because I said this is like the first song that I ever heard from her. And me listening to that song is like, it brings back a whole bunch of memories of like times when I was growing up, times when I was in middle school and high school and stuff like that. And I just think that this is the first song I learned and I couldn't skip a word. Like I knew every word, I knew every sound effect. Somebody could do the beat, I could go word for word with you. We used to battle listening to this song. That's probably my all-time favorite song. I was on the plane with Dwayne. You used to call me Whitney. I go to Hill, Maine. Listen, I'm the baddest in the school, the baddest in the game. Excuse me, honey, but nobody's in my lane. I'm a bar for sure. Nicki is number 1. For me, I included 3 women in my top 5 simply because they're all equally amazing. Like I think sometimes we forget just because we feel like hip hop was started, with men, that we can include women. And even now, today, like in 2020, women aren't dominating hip hop, and you can't discredit that. You can't take that away. Yeah, I listen to men rap, but on a certain level, it's some stuff I can't relate to. Some stuff a man can't say that Trina will say, or Nicki will say, or Lauryn Hill would have said. It's not a man out here that can talk to me about a pregnancy. You can look from the outside in, but you'll never be able to speak from my perspective. And those women can do that. So you better include me in your top 5.